field is independent of the distance. So once if you want to electric flux density, then simply you can remove epsilon, then you will get simply rho s by 2. Okay, anyway, what is the actual derivation, எப்படி derive பண்றாங்க, என்ன coordinate systemல இருக்காங்க யூஸ் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்றது நம்ம பார்ப்போம். So I will go to the material. So last class electric field due to infinite line பார்த்தோம். இப்போ வந்து electric field due to surface. So பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், இது என்னது, electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Infinite sheet of charge. Again sheetன்றதுனால நம்ம என்ன எடுக்கணும், charge density rho s coulomb per meter square. sheetன்றதுனால charge density rho s coulomb per meter square. Okay. Again நம்மளுடைய ஷீட்டை எங்க பிளேஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க பாருங்க, z equal to 0 plane, or what is the name of the plane, z equal to 0 plane னு சொல்லலாம், or otherwise xy plane, or otherwise xy plane. Again this is a complete sheet, complete infinite sheet, because from minus infinity to plus infinity, x is minus infinity to plus infinity, and y is also from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so this is called complete sheet. Okay, then they have chosen some smaller area. Then again this is our test point. Okay, so please imagine this is a unit test positive charge. Okay, then actually the force will be the electric field. Okay, force will be like an electric field. Okay, again we should know what is this point. Okay, what is this point value, and again where we are choosing what is this ds value. Okay, ds value, I think most probably they will be using a cylindrical coordinate system. So cylindrical coordinate system for ds. Okay, in cylindrical coordinate system, what is ds? Once if you are in a base plane, okay, your z is constant. Okay, your z is constant. So generally that cylindrical coordinate system rho comma pi comma z. Okay, whenever you are in the base plane, z is constant, then variation is from rho and pi only. Okay, so rho can be d rho, and phi variation is rho d phi. Okay, rho d phi, or instead of rho they can use r also, so no problem. So d rho d phi. Okay, once if you multiply these two, then you will get a small elemental area ds. Okay, then what is the electric field here due to this small elemental surface? Okay, once if you are having elemental surface dz, then your q is equal to rho s into dz. Okay, dq is equal to, okay, then what is the electric field due to small charge dq? Okay, again you have to assume it as a point charge. Okay, then formula for point charge is q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Here that r square is actually the distance, actually the physical distance from this point to this point. Please note down that capital R, the capital R is from this point to the point you have chosen here, some point and some other elemental surface on the base plane. Then what is the distance? That is called capital R. Okay, that is called capital R. Then you have to proceed next. Okay, once I told you they will use definitely that cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, you tomorrow you come up with the answer for this, why they are using cylindrical coordinate system, why not spherical, or why not Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, you just think it yourself. Okay, think what is the reason why we are using this coordinate system, why not other coordinate system. Okay, once if you are in a cylindrical coordinate system, and again I told you the charge, small charge is equal to rho s into dz ds. Okay, ds can be replaced by this value. I have told you rho, but they are using some r. Okay, small r, that's okay. So r dr, r means what, sir? R means measurement from this to this is called small r. Okay, we can use rho also, no problem. Okay, so r dr d phi, r dr d phi. Then you have to find out r vector. Once if you want to know again what is the direction of r vector, this is the direction of r vector, because electric field will be going in this direction. Okay, once if the electric field goes in this direction, if this is the vector p and say this is some vector q, then what you should know, qp vector you should know. QP vector, from q you are going to p, then what is the QP vector? OP vector minus OQ vector. Okay. Again, in OP vector, you are having only what, sir? Z. You are having only Z. Okay. So that's why Z is in positive. Then in OQ vector, you are having a point. Again, what is the point value of this one? Okay. In a cylindrical coordinate system, what is this point value? Anybody? You are at some R. Okay. Anyone? Can you say what is this point value in a cylindrical coordinate system? Yeah. Actually, that point value is, you are at some radius. Okay. You are at some pi. Okay. You are at some pi. Okay. Then your Z value is 0. Your Z value is 0. Now here they are mentioning 0, 0 Z. Actually, R is 0, but that pi can be anything. In one class, I told you, once if your point is on the exactly on the Z axis, pi can be anything. Okay. So pi can be anything. Then that itself, pi itself you can take. Then you are having Z. Okay. Once if you take difference, you will get this. Okay. This vector minus this vector. Okay. That R AR cap plus Z A Z cap. Okay. Anyway, we are interested in what, sir? We are interested in only direction. We want to know this direction only. Okay. Magnitude will be given by the Coulomb's law. So we need only direction. So once if you want to take a direction, then you have to, for any vector, if you want to know only direction, that vector you have to divide by that. You have to divide the vector by its magnitude. So that's why they are dividing with that magnitude, say square root of R square and Z square. Okay. Then DE is equal to, so what is the formula? DE is equal to DQ. D is equal to DQ divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay. 4 pi epsilon naught. And again 4 pi epsilon naught R square. But please, this is capital R. So you should know what is this R value. So using Pythagoras theorem, this R value is what, sir? Simply R square Z square square root. You have to use Pythagoras theorem. So, but as R square comes, the square root cancels. So that's why they are using only simply R square plus Z square. Okay. Then instead of DQ, okay, you can replace with this one. Okay. Already you have calculated what is DQ, rho S or dr DQ. Okay. Then anyway, I told you, you have to put a vector direction here, proper vector direction. So this is my vector. Okay. Again, that too, I should know what is the unit vector in that direction. Okay. Unit vector in that direction. That this is the unit vector in the direction. Say this is the unit vector in the direction. So just I have to replace that unit vector with this value. Okay, this is the unit vector. Now this is the differential electric field. Okay, differential electric field due to some elemental surface. I want to know what is electric field due to all surface. Okay, because charges is available on entire plane, infinite plane. Then due to entire plane, what is the charge? What is the total electric field at that point? So what you have to do? You are on the base plane. You are on the base plane. What is the flexibility you are having? You can vary your R from 0 to infinity. You can go anywhere. And again, your phi also you can vary. You can vary your phi from 0 to 2 pi. Once if you make this variation, you can go anywhere on the infinite plane. Okay, so once if you make integration, then you are considering all the infinite points. Okay, on the base plane. That's why. So if you want to have a electric field, total electric field, okay, you know what is the differential electric field. Then you make an integration with this variable, because pi can be from 0 to 2 pi. R can be anything from 0 to infinite. That means what? You are extending this small elemental surface to the entire plane, entire infinite plane. That is the idea of this integration. Okay, anyway, already you know what is DE. Okay, already you know what is DE. And please note down here, here there are two components. Okay, one is in ER vector cap, another one is AZ vector. ER vector and another one is AZ vector. I clearly told you, okay, once if you have a surface like this, definitely finally your electric field will be only in this direction. Okay, it will not be in any other direction. Okay, they are giving ER vector means which directions are these are all called ER vector direction, radially outwards. But I told you clearly, only you will get a perpendicular vector. That means what? Even if you work out, okay, your answer will be 0. I don't know. Yesterday also I have given you an exercise like this. Okay, the answer will be 0, but I don't know how many of you done that or not. Okay, so again this will be 0. Again you take the remaining component. Okay, you take the remaining component. So z a z and remaining as it is. Okay. Okay. Now it is a simple integration. Okay, it is a simple integration. Okay, you know, again you are given with a limit. Okay, you are given with a limit. So please try to work out. Okay, please try to work out. Again, you should be very careful. What is variable? What is constant? Okay. Anyway, rho s is constant. You can take it outside. 4 pi epsilon naught is constant. You can take it outside. Okay. And again, your integration is with respect to r and d phi, and z also you can take outside. Okay. Z. Okay. It is independent of z. Sorry, I think you cannot take z outside because already z is here. Then you make some kind of substitutions like z equal to some tan theta like that. Finally, you will come up with the answer. But your answer has to be rho s by 2 epsilon. Please work out with this. Then you come up with the answer. What is your final answer? Okay. Finally, you should get rho s divided by 2 epsilon naught. Okay. And again, they clearly given if you chosen a point above the xy plane. Okay, this is your xy plane. If you chosen the point here, then your vector will be in this direction. Or if you choose below the base axis, your electric field will be in the opposite direction. That's why they clearly given. Once if you choose above the xy plane, your direction will be a z cap. If you choose below the plane, your direction will be minus a z cap. So okay, so this is your final conclusion. Okay, what happens? What is electric field due to infinite sheet of charge? Okay, this is the idea. Okay, next, I will try to go to Gauss law. Okay, Gauss law. See what Gauss law is saying. Gauss law is saying the amount of flux that is coming out of a imaginary surface is equal to the charge enclosed by that surface. Please note down in your notes clearly. What is Gauss law saying? Amount of flux coming out of a closed imaginary surface. Amount of flux coming out of closed imaginary everything is important, sir. Every word is important. Amount of flux coming out of closed imaginary surface. Amount of flux coming out of closed imaginary surface is equal to total charge is equal to total charge enclosed by that surface. Total charge enclosed by that surface. Total charge enclosed is equal to total charge enclosed by that surface. Once again, I will repeat. Now we have entered a new topic. The topic is Gauss law. Okay, Gauss law. What is Gauss law? The amount of flux coming out of a closed imaginary surface. The amount of flux coming out of a closed imaginary surface is equal to total charge enclosed by that surface. Okay, we are talking about flux or flux density. Yes, anybody? What flux density is independent of medium or depending on the medium? Number of flux lines or flux density. What's your understanding? It is depending on the medium or independent of medium? Okay, independent. Okay, flux density or flux is independent of medium. So now what they are saying, say, for example, I have some surface, sir, some closed surface, not necessarily to be regular. It can be irregular, but it is closed. What they are telling, if you are having a charge Q1, okay, then if somebody asks how many flux lines are coming outside, you can simply tell that is pi 1, because you can simply tell that is Q1, because Gauss law states that only. Okay, you take any surface. Okay, this is like imaginary surface. Again, the charge is inside the surface. You take any surface. Okay, what is the flux that is coming out of the surface? They are clearly asking what is the flux that is coming out of the surface. Okay, what is the flux that is coming out of the surface? So the flux that is coming out of the surface is psi is equal to the total flux that is coming out of the surface, psi is equal to Q1. Okay, and again if somebody comes and puts one more charge here, say Q2. Now what is the flux that is coming out of the surface? Now the new total flux that is coming out of the surface is pi1 plus pi2. Sorry, not pi1, Q1 plus Q2. Q1 plus Q2. What is the total flux that is coming out of the surface now? Q1 and Q2. In generalized statement, what you can write, at any point of time, the total flux that is coming out of the surface is equal to summation of charge enclosed by that surface. Summation of the charge enclosed by that surface. Okay, this is called Gauss law. Okay, what Gauss law is saying? The total flux that is coming out of the surface. Okay, we are not discussing about field strength or anything else. We are just concentrating on the imaginary surface. How many lines are coming outside? That's it. Okay, how many lines are coming outside? Okay, once if you have an imaginary surface and it consists of some charges, then the total number of flux that is coming outside the surface is equal to total charge enclosed by that surface. Now, okay, now I will extend further. Okay, say for example, I'm having an imaginary surface. Okay, I'm having a Q is equal to 1 nanocoulomb and another Q2 is equal to minus 1 nanocoulomb, because one is positive charge and another one is negative charge. Now, please somebody tell me what is the flux lines that is coming out of the surface? Anybody? Now, what is the flux lines that is 0? Why it is 0? Can you say some intuitive way? Because according to formula, it is 0 only. Okay, what is actually happening in this case? Anyway, the answer is 0 only. Okay, what is actually happening? So, say for example, wait. So my Q2 is minus 1 nanocoulomb. Okay, first I concentrate about Q1, 1 nanocoulomb. Because of Q1, definitely the some flux will be coming outside. Okay, because Q1 is positive, some flux will be coming outside. Then you are having negative charge also, minus 1 nanocoulomb. Then what will happen? Some lines has to go inside. Okay, has to go inside. Okay, suppose in the black case, if you are having 100 lines, similarly, in the green color also you will have 100 lines. Now they are cancelling out each other. Okay, flux lines are coming inside and they are going outside. Now in this case, exactly they are cancelling with each other. Okay, say suppose this block is giving you 100 lines that is going outward. This green is giving you 100 lines that is coming inside. Exactly they cancel out. Finally, your total electric field, finally your total flux that is coming out of the surface is 0. Finally, your total electric flux that is coming out of the surface is 0. Okay, this is the idea. Okay, 0. Now, suppose if the question is like this. Okay, now the net flux that is coming out of the surface is 0. The net flux that is coming out of the imaginary surface is 0. Okay, now suppose instead of now somebody gives you black is 2 nanocoulomb. Amount of positive charge is 2 nanocoulomb, and negative charge is 1 nanocoulomb negative. Okay, now what is the total flux that is coming out of the surface? Okay, clearly the total flux that is coming out of the surface is equal to 1 nanocoulomb. Why? Because this positive charge will be giving you 200 lines. This negative charge will be giving you 100 lines in opposite direction. So 200 minus 100, again still it is 100. So your total flux that is coming out of the surface, imaginary surface, is like 1 nanocoulomb. Is like 1 nanocoulomb. Okay, this is the scenario. Or otherwise, another way also you can take, say this is 1 nanocoulomb. This is 1 nanocoulomb. And this is minus 2 nanocoulomb. Okay, this is minus 2 nanocoulomb. Definitely your answer will be minus 1 nanocoulomb. Okay, what Gauss law says, the amount of line that is coming out of the surface, but finally you are getting negative answer. If it is negative, what is actually happening, sir? Finally, the net flux lines are actually not going outwards, it's going inwards. Okay, it's not going out of the surface, because by definition it has to go outside. Okay, if at all your psi value is positive, definitely it has to go outside. But in this case, what will happen? Negative charge is more, so finally the flux lines will be coming inside. Okay, after cancelling out, the flux lines will be coming inside. So once if your psi value is negative, what is the hidden meaning there? The flux is not actually going outside, but it is actually coming inside the surface, coming into the surface. Okay, that is the idea. Then I will extend this into further. Okay, suppose I taken here, I have one charge, the charge value is 1 nanocoulomb. Okay, and there is another charge here, say just outside my imaginary surface, that value is 1 nanocoulomb. Now if somebody asks, the question is, what is the total flux that is coming outside the surface, coming out of the imaginary surface? What is the answer, anybody? Now this is my imaginary surface. Okay, this is my imaginary surface. Inside the imaginary surface, I am having 1 nanocoulomb value. Just outside the surface, I am having one more charge, that is 1 nanocoulomb. Okay, 1 nanocoulomb. Okay, then what is my net flux that is coming out of the imaginary surface? Okay, once if you understand that formula is clearly telling the amount of flux that is coming outside the surface is actually that charge enclosed by that surface. Okay, okay, you should not worry about the charges that are outside the surface. Okay, once again go through the definition. So according to the definition, your answer has to be 1 nanocoulomb only, because we have to concentrate on the charges that is present inside the surface. Okay, that's okay, but actually what is happening in reality? What is happening? Okay, in reality, say wait, so say this is the imaginary surface, definitely it will be giving its own lines. Okay, because it is having 1 nanocoulomb, that's okay. Okay, so suppose what will do this 1 nanocoulomb, this is also like a point charge. Okay, it will give the vectors like this, some vector, because it is like this is also a point charge. Definitely it will also give you some electric field. But what happens once the electric field the electric field that is entering in this way will go away. Similarly, the electric field that is entering in this way will go away. Okay, it is entering and also it is going outside. Similarly, this is entering and this is going outside. So what will happen? The effect is cancelling out. Okay, this is entering as well as it is leaving. Okay, say for example, the contribution by that blue color line is, it is giving you 3 flux lines inside. Okay, once if the flux lines goes inside, that is definitely minus 3, and again 3 flux lines is going outside, definitely it is plus 3. Then what is the effect of that blue color charge? It is nothing. Okay, what is happening? That is also giving you the electric field lines, but what is actually happening? It is entering as well as leaving. It is entering as well as leaving. So the contribution by that blue color charge that is outside the surface, okay, imaginary surface, is actually 0. That's why what is the final idea? So once if you have the configuration like this, some charges are inside, some charges are outside, you have to concentrate on a charge that is present only inside. Okay, some of the charges that is present only inside the imaginary surface. Okay, charge present inside the imaginary surface, Okay, this is the idea of the Coulomb's law. Okay, now I'll ask you some simple question. Okay, so you are in a 3-dimensional coordinate system. Okay, 3-dimensional coordinate system, and you imagine a cube. Value of say side 6 meter, 6 meter, 6 meter. That means what? Again, please imagine the center point of the cube is here. Okay, center point of the cube is here. So you imagine in such a way the sides and height of the cube, because as it is a cube, definitely all has to be same. Okay, so you imagine a cube, but please be careful. This center point, your center point is also a center point of your cube. Okay, now I'm going to give you one question. Somebody please try to give me the answer. Okay, so I'm having one charge. Say I'm having a charge of 1 nanocoulomb at a point 0, 0, 0. Okay. There are many charges, 4 charges. Okay, there are 4 charges. Okay, and again I have given you clearly what is the sides of the cube. 6, 6, 6. Okay, 6, 6. And also another concept is the center point of the cube. Center point of the cube is same as the center point of the coordinate system. Center point of the cube is please, center point of the cube is same as your coordinate system center point. Yes, what is the answer? Anybody? Any idea? Say this is the first charge, this is the second charge, third charge, fourth charge. Can anybody tell me what are the charges that will be inside? What about the first charge? It will be inside or outside? Yes. Are you all getting this idea? What I'm asking? Yes, somebody is outside, somebody is inside. Okay, that's why I am again and again I am insisting you to go through that applications. Okay, please get understanding with that application. You draw the cube in such a way that center point is the center point of the coordinate system, and with the side 6. Then you put your point here. Then you rotate the diagram. You see whether it is actually inside or outside. Okay. Yeah, inside and outside, you are just giving some fluctuations answer, half of you giving inside and remaining of telling outside. But please be careful. Once if you are having once if you are having 6, what is the maximum variation that because this is x-axis, so the maximum variation from -3 to +3, is it not? Because it is placed in the symmetrical way. Okay, it is placed in the symmetrical way. So if one side of the cube goes up to 3, then another side has to go up to -3. Similarly for y-axis also, similarly for z-axis also. Okay, if any number that is going outside this range, -3 and 3, definitely it will not be inside the cube. Please, if you note down this point, definitely this point cannot be inside the cube, because it is giving you the 4. If any one of the number is, if any one of the number, here you are having 4 points. Okay, again if any one of them, again in the points you are given a 3 coordinates. If any one of the number is not within this range, definitely that will be outside the cube. Definitely that will be outside the cube. So what is my final answer? Are you all getting this idea? So definitely this will be inside the cube or on the cube. Definitely this will be inside the cube or on the cube. And this 2 nanocoulomb will be outside the cube. Okay, the 2 nanocoulomb will be this 2 nanocoulomb value, third case will be outside the cube. So what is my final answer? Then what will be the total flux? My total flux will be addition of remaining. My total flux is addition of remaining. Okay, so 8 nanocoulomb is the answer. So இது போல தான் சார் எக்ஸாம்ல கொஸ்டின் கேக்குறாங்க. இது போல தான் எக்ஸாம்ல வந்து கொஸ்டின் கேக்குறாங்க. ஓகே, based on Gauss law. Okay, based on Gauss law. Okay, this is the idea. Yes sir, are you all getting this idea? If yes, I will go to next. Please somebody tell me whether you are understanding this or not. I am solving one problem based on Gauss law. Yes. Okay. Then I will give you one.
Sir.
I will give you one assignment.
Hello, sir.
You just try to solve.
Sir, அந்த நானோ கூலும் வந்து cancelled out ஆகாதுங்களா sir?
What is the madam? What is the doubt?
Hello,
yes,
sir.
சொல்லுங்க.
Sir, 29 அவுட் சைடுல இருக்கு இல்லீங்களா சார்? அதனோட இது இருக்காதுங்களா? அப்ப 29
அதனோட எஃபெக்ட் இருக்காதே. அதுதான் நான் உங்களுக்கு இதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஸ்லைட்ல சொன்னனே. our interest is அதனோட எஃபெக்ட் வந்து இருக்கும், பிளஸ்லயும் இருக்கும் மைனஸ்லயும் இருக்கும், கேன்சல் ஆயிடும். சரி, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஸ்லைட கவனிச்சீங்களா? இங்க இதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் போட்டு காமிச்சேன், அதை கவனிச்சீங்களா? அப்போ அவுட் சைடுல எடுத்தா என்ன வருதுன்னு இப்ப
எடுத்தாலும் கேன்சல்ட் அவுட் ஆகும் தானே சார்?
இல்ல மேடம், இப்ப நான் சொல்றது கொஞ்சம் கவனிங்க. இப்போ ஒரு ஸ்லைடு உங்களுக்கு தெரியுதா?
ஆமா சார்.
ஹலோ, இதுல நான் வெளியில சார்ஜ் எடுத்துருக்கேன். என்ன ஆகுது? இதனோட எஃபெக்ட் உள்ளேயும் போகுது, வெளியிலயும் வரும். ஓகே, உள்ள போறதுன்னா என்ன நடிப்பீங்க? 3 லைன்ஸ் உள்ள போகுது. உள்ள போறதுனால என்னது? மைனஸ். வெளியிலயும் வரும் அது கண்டிப்பா. ஓகே, ஏன்னா அங்க போயிட்டு எங்கேயும் ஸ்டே பண்ண முடியாது, வெளியில வந்தா ஆகணும் அது. ஸோ அதனால வெளியில வருதுன்னா என்னது? அதுவும் +3. ஸோ -3 +3 கேன்சல் அவுட். அதுதான் நான் சொல்ல வரேன். அவுட் சைட் தி இமேஜினரி சர்ஃபேஸ் இருந்தா அது நம்மளுடைய கவுண்ட்லயே வராது.
ஓகே சார். ஓகே சார், थैंक यू சார்.
This is the idea.
Okay sir.
Yes. See, this 2 nanocoulomb also will be giving you some field lines, but that will be going inside and also it will be going outside. Okay, once if you go inside, that is minus. Same amount will go outside, that is plus. So it is actually cancelling out. Okay, what we are interested? We are interested how much flux length that is effectively going outside. Effectively going outside. That is the idea here. Okay, so I will give you one assignment. Okay. See, this is the 3 axes of the coordinate system. 3 axes of the coordinate system. I don't know why somebody is drawing here unnecessarily. Whenever I am asking you question, you are not telling, but you are randomly scribbling here. I don't know who is doing this. Okay, so whenever there is 3 axes, okay, now again please remember always for the Gauss law you need a imaginary closed surface. You need a imaginary closed surface. Okay. Okay, again there are many ways to form the closed surface. There are many ways. Okay, once if it is a plane, say this is what is the axis name? The axis name is, what is this axis name? X-axis. Okay, X-axis. And similarly Z-axis, similarly Y-axis. Okay, already there are 3 axes. Okay, now and again you make some equation. Say for example, I am giving you the equation like this: x plus y plus z is equal to say some 6. Okay, x y plus z is equal to what, sir? 6. Okay, that means what? Here you will have a point called 6. Okay, all this will be connected. All this will be connected, and it is clearly visible. This will give you the closed surface. How? Because already there are 3 axes. Okay, I will draw the surface actually. See, this is the bottom surface. This is the side surface. This is that side surface. Okay, that YZ plane. The part of the YZ plane. The part of the YZ plane and this line forms some surface, closed surface. Similarly, the part of XZ plane and this line forming some closed surface. And again, this plane, the plane that is called as x plus y plus z equal to 6, is also forming some plane. So finally, you are getting a closed surface. Finally, you are getting a closed surface. So now my question is, okay, now my question is, if I am giving you some random point, okay, whether that is coming, first of all, you should know, before applying Gauss law, you should know whether that point comes inside the imaginary surface or it is going outside the imaginary surface. Okay, whether your point is going inside or it is going outside. Okay, so that I am giving you some random point, say for example 2 comma 2 comma 2, okay, 2 comma 2 comma 2, whether it is coming inside or it is going outside. 4 comma 4 comma 4, or you can take any random value, 1 comma 2 comma 3, 1 comma 2 comma 3, or even you can take negative value also, minus 1 comma 3 comma 4, or you can take some other value like 5 comma 5 comma 5, whether it is coming inside or going outside. Okay, other you can take some completely negative value, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, or completely all are negative value. You can take any value, say I'm giving in the another slide. You can take value like that, minus 1 comma minus 2 comma 3, whether it is coming inside the surface or it's going outside, or 1 comma 2 comma minus 3, or 1 comma minus 2 comma minus 3. Okay, and again all are 6 comma 6 comma 8. Okay, and similarly you can take some other point like 7 comma 6 comma 6, whether you take some random point, whether it is coming inside the imaginary closed surface or it is going outside. Please note down these points. Okay, I will show this slide. Please note down. I have formed some imaginary surface, closed surface. Okay, so I have given you some point, whether that point is coming actually inside that imaginary closed surface or it is going away. Okay, in this page itself, I have given you 5 points. Okay, first of all, you should know whether the point is lying inside the surface or it is going outside the surface. Then you can easily apply the Gauss law. You know, anyway, Gauss law is the number of flux lines that is going outside is equal to amount of charge enclosed by the surface. That means what? The charge has to be inside the surface. Okay, so to identify the charge, whether it is inside or outside, you should know that point, whether the point is coming